know what time it is. It's Triple H, the Central Hip Hop Hour on the beat, where we talk all things hip hop and R&B.
Happy 2026, everyone. We're back with another season. The year of 2025 has come and gone. It had its ups and downs, and that's what we're covering today. Our first episode back after the break. We know we were sorely missed. I know I missed being in here.
Yep.
Just thinking about what we could be doing here. But we're going to come back with a special episode. It's like our version of the Grammys, kind of.
Yeah, I feel like it's even more prestigious than the Grammys.
Probably more entertaining for sure.
Yeah, we have better taste than all of the judges on there.
Yeah,
we have more diverse, a more diverse eye for all the different types of music. So overall, to get, I feel like we need to come up with some type of like little name for the awards besides just the
Triple H's.
The Triple H's.
Yeah.
Sure. It's the Triple H's.
Triple H's.
First ever. A Triple H is more prestigious than anything ever.
The best thing about this that sets it apart from the Grammys is that it's all about hip hop. That's what we're entirely focusing on today. I mean, we're the Central Hip Hop Hour, so it only makes sense. Another reason we're better than the Grammys is because our time frame actually makes sense. This is for 2025, which means it covers January 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2025. It's music that actually came out last year. Unlike Chromacopia GNX, you're seeing nominations at the Grammys.
Dropped in 2024.
That's old. That's old news now, bro.
No,
like no one cares about those albums anymore.
We don't care.
Like, we
Triple
don't care.
H. That's old news.
We're about that new music.
Yeah.
But yeah. So only hip hop music. I clarified that even if someone's like a hip hop artist and they make a non-hip hop song, that song isn't eligible. You know, it's like Drake made Meet Your Padre. I wouldn't call that a hip hop song. I don't know what to call that song, but you know, that was a good in running for Song of the Year, but we had to disqualify it.
I was gonna throw it in there, but
So our first category we're gonna cover is Verse of the Year. The verse itself is like a single segment of the song. They're often divided up by choruses and stuff like that. We're considering the writing, the performance, the function within the context of a song as a whole. And we can't include guest or feature performances on this, so this could be a feature, could not be. But yeah, what were you considering for this category? What were your nominees?
You know, there was a lot. I feel like there wasn't a ton of different albums and stuff that dropped this year. Like I tried my best to search everything as much as I could.
Yeah.
You know, I had to fight back the urge to do Drake on Mr. Recoup. I have a feeling that might be mentioned later in this episode.
It might be.
But, you know, some of the contenders that I had personally, I considered the twin trim on Music by Cardi that's actually just Uzi's whole song.
Yeah.
I really loved his verse. I felt like it was vintage Uzi. It was Eternal Take level Uzi. I loved it. But just like with all the confusion regarding that, I kind of struggled to throw that in there. I mean, there's a couple off of Music that I liked. Obviously, you got to look at Let God Sort 'Em Out when you look at Verse of the Year with Clips. Fantastic features, fantastic choruses, so many good things. Other than that, you know, I looked at, like I've mentioned on this before, how much I enjoyed Futuristic Summer by Metro Boomin, and there's a lot of great verses on that because, I mean, it's kind of like superheroes and villains, all feature driven, obviously. Even off of Jack Boys, even though it wasn't a fantastic album, I felt like Travis did his thing on a couple of songs. I felt like Don did his thing on a couple of songs. So, while maybe not on the level of some of the other ones, those were definitely considerations, I mean to say. But my choice, I went with a feature. I went with Chains and Whips, Kendrick Lamar, his verse on there. You know, I wanted to do it for Feature of the Year, but it was the Verse of the Year. I even though obviously Pusha and Malice both went crazy on it. I mean, we saw Nas, we saw so many good artists, but yeah. Kendrick Lamar.
I like that pick. He commands like a lot of attention on that song. He's kind of the highlight, I think, and yeah, I really like the aggressive energy he was bringing. I'm pretty sure it was recorded during the time when he was like recording GNX and recording a lot of those diss tracks, so it's a bit on the older side. but it actually didn't come out until last year. So yeah, it's also just really cool to see Kendrick collaborating with them, because they're rappers who are like at the top peak form in their careers right now, I think. For verse of the year, like I said, I was looking at Let God Sort 'Em Out and Clips a lot. My nominees per se were Pusha T's first verse on Mike Tyson Blow to the Face. I think he brings like an insane amount of energy to that song. I was also considering JID's final verse on You Ugly, which is the intro track on God Does Like Ugly. For one, the beat on that is just insane, but he matches it perfectly. I think JID is an incredibly talented rapper. Sometimes I think, like, as a listener, I get a little bit lost in like the crazy flows that he's doing, and it can get a little bit like repetitive to my ear. But there are highlights on this album where he's really like changing his voice and sounding super aggressive and doing these like insane like flows that I've never really heard before. And this is one of the examples, the final verse on You Ugly. If you haven't heard it, I would definitely recommend checking it out. And another example of that I was thinking about was JID's first verse on Community. That's the song that features Clips, actually, but he has like just an insane, like, he completely changes his delivery. It's like nothing else no other JID song I've heard. I honestly, like, for a half second I thought it was a different person, but yeah, just the pure aggression that he's bringing, and it fits the beat perfectly, and it's such a nice variety in that album. I really, really love that verse. Seeing him perform that live was really, really exciting. And then another one I'm considering, and a song that I'll be bringing up a few more times, is Sugar Water by McKinley Dixon. This is a lesser known rapper, but I mean, it's gotten a little bit of attention. It's not like completely underground, like 1,000 streams kind of thing, but it's a really, really well produced, really well done jazz rap album. And his first verse on the song Sugar Water is really, really good. So that was another one I was considering, but the one I went with was No Malice on The Birds Don't Sing. I talked about this verse, I think, quite a bit when we reviewed this album, but the song, if you don't know, is about Pusha T and No Malice talking about their father that passed away, and how their kind of regrets revolving around that, their regrets with how they've spent their lives, how they didn't spend enough time with him, and the way that No Malice tells that story from his perspective. It's just beautiful. Like, it almost brings me to tears, if not brings me to tears, every time I listen to it. There's so many great lines in there. I always think about my dad had every bass covered, so imagine his pain finding bass in the cupboard. I just think that's like amazing wordplay, and like, yeah, I had to go with that one. No Malice's verse on Birds Don't Sing for verse of the year.
Yeah, I looked at Birds Don't Sing specifically because of just all the emotion that happens within that whole song. That was probably like my second. I think I was actually gonna go Pusha with that one. But yeah, that's another great pick. Yeah, Clips album was just so dominant this year.
We're gonna be hearing about it quite a bit today.
Definitely.
Yeah. But next up, we have Feature of the Year, which it's a pretty similar category, but it's specifically on guest performances on a song. And these don't necessarily have to be a verse. They could be a chorus as well. And there were some that I was considering personally that were maybe not traditional verses, or they're a bit different than like a rap performance. And we're kind of considering like what they do for the song as a whole, how they function in there. Did they make the song better? So yeah, what were you thinking about for this one?
You know, I mentioned the album earlier, but Futuristic Summer by Metro Boomin is pretty much all like feature driven. And there was a lot of fantastic features by a lot of different like levels of artists. You have some lesser known, some really big artists. So I looked there. Obviously, I mean, Chains and Whips was a feature, so I looked there. But I just decided to give that first verse of the year. And at the Triple H's, we don't give out a multiple for the same thing, in my opinion. No feature of the year and verse of the year. I think that's ludicrous. We're not doing that. Obviously, looked at music. I looked at Alfredo 2 by Freddie Gibbs. Looked at some of the features on that. But my final pick was off of Futuristic Summer. Quavo, which is weird.
Nice.
But he had a lot of really good performances on the album. And every time he was on a song, he was just like, he made the song a trillion times better. He fit the whole vibe of that album so well. Like, if you listen to that album maybe a couple times, wasn't a huge fan, just listen to it over when it's nice out and listen to one of those songs with Quavo on it, and I promise he'll, like, it's ridiculous, his whole performance on this album. My personal favorite song was Overly Trim. And this was, he kind of had like a chorus hook type of thing, but it was just like so beautiful. Every time I listen to it, like I can't help but just like start singing with him. I was at the gym running the other day and listening to it, and like let me pull up the lyrics real quick, but there's one specific part where he references Rocky, and every single time he references that part, I literally like start shadow boxing, bro. Like I feel like I'm in it. He goes, Motorsport going horses with a stallion, Rocky Balboa, shrimp and lobster going Italian.
Bar.
You know, it might not be like, it's not as deep and as emotional as a lot of those clips and those JIDs, those Kendricks, but I think that's kind of the beauty of rap to me, is not everything has to be that deep, that beautiful.
Yeah, it's just about how it feels.
Exactly. Some of it can just be fun and enjoyable and gets you hyped up. And every time I hear that part, like I just start I'm on the treadmill, like feeling like I'm one of those boxers in those training videos, because it's just like, I don't know. I love it. I love it. It was probably one of the songs of the year in my personal taste opinion, because I just get so happy every time I listen to it. And I thought he by far was the best performer. So that was my pick. Probably not a pick that anyone else had, but
that's okay.
Yeah, I think again, that's the beauty.
Everyone has their own taste.
That's the beauty of music.
Yeah.
All right, but
I think a lot of times like features as a whole are kind of for fun and like to bring more energy to a song. So yeah, I mean, like obviously Kendrick Lamar, Chains and Whips was one that I was considering for feature of the year. It's one of the ones that immediately popped into my head. But also like looking deeper, I mean, a lot of times features are kind of like embedded in the song where you don't even think about it as a feature. One of my favorite songs of this year was Skate by JID. And shout out to, I think it's Sierra, I'm guessing. Sierra, who was featured on that. Never heard of her before, but she did the chorus on that. And I think that like just ties the entire song together. So huge shout out to that. Also, No Malice on Community by JID, the song I mentioned earlier. He has an amazing verse on there. Pusha T does as well. Clips as a whole on Look at Me by Mobb Deep. They kind of do a back and forth, which you don't really hear. I mean, they usually have their own separate verses, but they're kind of going back and forth, which works great because their voices are very similar. So that one was really cool. Travis Scott on Reflections Laughing by The Weeknd. Not necessarily a hip-hop song, but I would call it a hip-hop feature. I mean, he's doing his usual rapping style on it. I think he really ties that song together and adds a great section to it. Tyler, the Creator on POV by Clips.
Yep, another.
Brings tons and tons of energy to that song. Fits it perfectly. Really cool collab to see again, especially because he's such a big fan of Clips and so inspired by them. And a shout out to maybe a lesser appreciated album and lesser appreciated song, Peace by Little Sims. I didn't listen to it a ton this year, but for this episode I decided to like revisit some of the albums that I didn't revisit a lot on my own. And Little Sims' album was one of the ones, and on this song called Peace, Moses Sumney had a really great and unique feature that I really enjoyed. So I decided I wanted to shout that out. But the one I'm going to go with, honestly, it feels a little bit similar to yours. It's not the same song, not the same artist, but on Skate, Dr. Dot, who's a part of Earth Gang. That's going to be my feature of the year. Every time his part comes on, it's just like he brings like so much to that song. It's just so fun, you know. It's really easy to sing along with. It's kind of a melodic rap type thing. And yeah, like that song as a whole is just like it's helped so much by the features. So huge shout out to those on there. But my favorite one was Dr. Dot. He has an amazing verse, super fun. But yeah, that's the one I'm going to go with for feature of the year.
Heck
we
yeah.
kind of went in a similar direction.
I know. I kind of like that because I feel like the beauty, I mean, obviously you see the Grammys and stuff, they just kind of go with the common ones. Like, I mean, I guess I can't, but like I went Chains and Whips, Kendrick with that first one. But like that's the type of stuff. They're just going to pick those basic ones, whereas us, we can kind of go into our more personal. We don't have to look at it from that objective.
Yeah.
So we can just do our personal favorites. So
well, we're kind of dogging on the Grammys a lot today, but it's kind of like you have to have a certain level of success to even get considered. I think you have to submit your own music, and there might be a fee associated with that. And so it kind of like blocks out like maybe lesser known artists and also lesser known music even from consideration. And like it feels like sometimes they won't even look at you if you don't have commercial success. Or if you're making like if you're making a banger instead of like an introspective song.
Yeah,
and like
exactly.
Here at the Triple H's, we want to appreciate everything, you know, every kind of music.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. Not every single rap song, like I mentioned, has to be that big introspective.
Yeah.
Obviously, those are great. They're great listens. They're like so important to the genre. But you also have to remember all of the bangers throughout history that have been made and how important that is to the genre.
Yeah.
And something like the song I brought up with Quavo and Metro Boomin, that whole album is just kind of like that 2000s, like that whole futuristic Atlanta sound that used to be. A lot of the people at the Grammys aren't going to be able to listen to that and appreciate that like other people will, because simply they don't understand like the whole point of that. They don't understand the history and the importance to that to Atlanta and to the 2000s. And obviously I can't say I fully do either. I wasn't from Atlanta or even alive during a lot of this time, but I just think I can recognize.
The album helps you understand.
Yeah, exactly. I've heard that music before, and I think that's an important thing to consider. And
yeah. Beat of the Year is our next category. I have such a long list for this. I have a really hard time because there's so much great production every single year. That's something you can always rely on. And I have a list of like over 10 songs that I was considering. But yeah, Beat of the Year. This is for the best production, not considering really the vocals at all. So yeah, what were you thinking about for this one?
So, there was a lot of great projects dropped this year that had great beats. Obviously, Metro dropped the whole thing. He's known for his beats. Another person that I think obviously is he's commonly known, but had some album. He dropped a lot of albums. The Alchemist was on quite a few albums. One was Life is Beautiful with Larry June and 2 Chainz.
I like that one.
A lot of just beautiful beats. Same with Alfredo too. But like Life is Beautiful off of the album has just like the most beautiful, like obviously I just said that 50 times.
But it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's like flutes, and it sounds so nice and refreshing to listen to. You
gotta love a flute.
Yeah, of course. It's like fluttering and stuff. It makes you feel like you're like a butterfly or something. So there was a lot that I looked at, but when it came down to it, I had to look at my personal favorites. I had to look at music, Playboi Carti, so many beautiful beats on there.
Yeah.
And I
think that's the best part of it, honestly, is the production.
Definitely. And I had 2 winners because it was kind of like my first song was kind of a throw up. My first song was 2024. I couldn't decide if this would work or not, because I mean he released it in 2024. I think it might have even been 2020.
It might have been the end of 2023.
Yeah.
But I would count it because it wasn't officially released.
It was interesting, but that was my first song just because I've watched like the videos on the sampling behind that, and it was
super
just
cool.
so beautiful. I believe Kanye had something to do with it.
Yeah, he has a production credit on it.
And like him and samples, dude. The way he chopped it up. I mean, if you listen to the first song and then listen to how he chopped it up, it's just ridiculous. It was probably one of the best beats I've ever heard. But just in case that one didn't work, I also really, really liked the Cocaine Nose off of Music.
Absolutely.
And we're not promoting this drug by any means. We don't recommend it. We are highly against it. But man, that beat is beautiful.
It's a great beat.
It's got like this beautiful guitar. It's sampled from an Ashanti song, actually. But it's just like unbelievable.
It's just a perfect sample for a party beat.
It is.
I think that was one of the ones that I was thinking about. Is that your official pick?
My official pick will be 2024, though.
All right. Nice. But yeah, that was one of the ones I was considering was Cocaine Nose. Also off of that album, Different Day. I've talked about that song before. I love that beat. It's very simple, but it's so effective. FOMDJ, also another amazing beat off of that album. Other ones I was thinking about, Come and Go by Yeet, produced by Benny X.
Yep.
This one's getting a bit of mainstream attention right now just because it's like so catchy. But yeah, really great beat there. I was also thinking about Glory by JID, produced by Lex Luger and Beatnik D. So Be It by Clips, produced by Pharrell Williams. Also Mike Tyson Blow to the Face by Clips. I forgot that a JPEG Mafia collab deluxe album came out this year, so I looked back at that. There were some new songs on there that I really liked. One called Boy You Should Know, one called What the Hip Hop Heck Is This. His song titles are very creative, but I like the production on both of those songs. Another shout out to Sugar Water by McKinley Dixon, produced by Sam Yamaha. He produced that entire album, which is incredibly impressive to me. But this is a time that I get to shout out an album that we haven't really gotten to talk about. I don't think you've heard it. I don't think a lot of people have heard it. Black British Music by Jim Legacy. It's an incredibly produced album. So there's 3 songs that I was thinking about from it. There's one called Stick, produced by Joe Stanley and Jim Legacy. There's one called New David Bowie that I was thinking about, produced by Jim Legacy, CPPO, I don't know how to pronounce that, Boy Red, and Baby Cashy. None of these people I've ever heard of, but yeah, kind of on the topic that you were talking about with the Metro Boomin album and just like getting appreciated by the Grammys and an album being like ingrained in a certain culture. I mean, the album's literally called Black British Music, and the entire thing is like an ode to music of so many different genres from that region of the world and from that sub-genre of music. And like it's incredible. The production, like it's so unique, and it's definitely like the #1 album, somehow surpassing Let God Sort 'Em Out, that inspired me as a producer this year. Like if you had told me like earlier this year that I would be picking my beat of the year from that album and not from Let God Sort 'Em Out, I wouldn't believe you. But they came out around the same time, but just since then, like this album has grown on me so much. It's amazing. I love it. And the one that I'm gonna go with is called SOS. It samples this song. I forget the name, but the way it ingrains the sample into the song is it's phenomenal. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's my favorite beat of the year. It was produced by Jim Legacy again, Joe Stanley, Full Stop Nathan, Phil, Kiri Gerbs, and Jay Kari. Shout out to all those people. I know you're listening out in the UK. Yeah, incredible song. I would highly recommend it. I'd highly recommend the entire album, and I'm going to be talking about it more as we go on. But yeah, SOS, that's the one I'm going with.
Interesting. Yeah, I can't say that I've really listened to that album, but again, I think that's the nice part about these Triple H's is it's different. Everything's different.
So yeah, now on to our first negative category. We don't have a lot of these. I didn't want to like bog the entire thing down, but it's also kind of fun. Worst beat of the year. And there's certainly also a lot of these every year.
I'm not going to lie. When I saw this was a category, I only had one option.
Yeah.
It's probably the worst beat I've ever heard in my life. It was genuinely disgusting. It makes me almost mad listening to it because
offensive to the ears.
It's repulsive. I mean, you have 2 mainstream artists. It should have been a hit, and I don't know. I don't know. All right, It was Mr. Recoup by Drake and 21 Savage.
Well, I thought you were talking about a different a different song.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
I
God.
thought everything you were just saying applied to a completely different song.
Is that the one you have?
Yeah, it's the one I have is Peanuts to an Elephant.
Oh, that's another good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think these are both valid options. Yeah.
I agree. To explain mine, don't waste your time. Don't listen to this song. It's like, it sounds like it's like a synth, but it's like, it's really like distorted. And I don't know, it's fine.
The
but
synth
then,
itself is fine, I think.
it kind of sounds like a fart after you hear it over and over again. And then the main beat is just like 4 piano keys, like doot, 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 doot. And it's just like a random like drum beat in the background. It's a terrible beat. I don't know. Maybe Adonis made it. Maybe he tapped into GarageBand, and I don't know.
It really does sound like someone's first attempt at making a beat in like FL Studio or GarageBand. Like just the super basic piano melody. It feels like not only is it their first attempt, but they spent maybe an hour on it. Like it's just so simple, and like for that reason, I didn't pick it. Because I do think the synth is okay, but Peanuts to an Elephant is like, I think it's just bad, just period.
Yeah.
You know, there's like just no good part of it. Instead of the piano, you have like this, I don't even know it's like this synth, this really thick, like 8-bit sounding synth. And I mean, there's that, and then there's also the elephant samples just randomly spread throughout the song. And it's produced by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's the only producer credited on it. So that's the other thing that makes it really weird and just funny. I mean, it's a hilarious song to listen to, but yeah, it's a terrible beat. I don't know what they were thinking. It feels like, because Lin-Manuel Miranda, like, he's an objectively, like, talented, like, composer and writer. Like, he's made so many, like, catchy musical songs. So I guess maybe hip hop isn't his forte. I don't know what he was thinking with this. It feels like he was like trolling Lil Wayne, or like both of them were trolling us. There's multiple songs this year. I mean, we'll get to our worst song category where it feels like people are like messing with us as listeners. Like, why would you release this? Yeah. So maybe that's it. Maybe they were trying to like make a purposely bad song to get attention for the album. I don't know, but it sucks. It's a bad beat.
Yeah, that's another really great contender. Both of those are rightfully deserving.
Another one I was considering. Other ones I was considering aren't as bad, but I really wasn't a fan of them. ILMB by Sheck West and Travis Scott.
Wow, I really like that one.
I think this, I don't like that song, I'm gonna be honest, but I think the beat is just so boring. Like, it's like nothing to me almost. It's just this one synth the entire time and drums, and that's it. But it's not nearly as bad as the other ones. And then another one was Work by JID on an album that I do like, but that song really doesn't do it for me. It's another, like, it's just kind of an annoying beat for some reason to me. There's like nothing going on, but the things that are going on are like just very very annoying to me.
Fair enough.
Again, not nearly as bad as the other ones. I want to clarify that.
Mr. Recoup, Peanuts to Elephant.
Yeah.
Both. Yeah. Not even. Shouldn't even be.
Shouldn't have been released.
Yeah, let's move on. I don't want to speak about them anymore.
So back to positivity. Now we're doing best produced album of the year. So the best like whole package of beats and I mean, you can factor in mixing and stuff like that too. I mean, most hip hop albums I hear are well mixed, so it's not like a huge factor. But yeah, best produced album, best composition, best beats on it. What were you thinking about for this one?
Yeah, so I feel like it's hard for me to say what I was thinking about because pretty much every album that's big now is super well produced. I mean, Clips had Pharrell on production. You have, like I said, The Alchemist, Metro. There was so much good production this year. Cardi had so much, like you said, the production on that was ridiculously good. And I think that's like what put the album over. And honestly, I kind of want to hear your opinion on this because I'd say like it's half a hip hop album, kind of not, but Don't Tap That Glass.
I think that counts.
Okay, that was my personal opinion. I mean, you have songs on there where it seems like Tyler just went on there and was like, yeah, I'm just going to flex my production. Yeah. I don't even feel like fully rapping right now. I'm just going to go on here and do what I want to do.
Absolutely.
I mean, Don't You Worry Baby was just like such a fantastic, like, listening to that is just like, hey, but he's not even doing that much.
Yeah.
I'll Take Care of You's the same thing. They're sampling Nuck If You Buck and stuff. Like, it's fantastic. Sugar on My Tongue, Sucker Free.
Yeah, the production is definitely the best part of that album.
I think, to me, that's what the album was. It was just Tyler going on, and this is just going to be all production. I don't care about the rap part of it. I don't care. I'm just going to produce here. And, so that's why it got my pick. I just think it was such a well-produced.
Yeah, that's totally valid. And that album, he's like capturing a different era of hip-hop, of like dance hip-hop music. So focusing so hard on the production worked really well. People like to make fun of like him, like, oh, he's like a corny rapper and stuff like that. I don't really agree on that at all, but especially on this album, like it's obviously his style on there is very intentional and it works with the production perfectly. But yeah, I think that's a great pick for best produced album.
Thank you.
Ones that I was considering, again, Let God Sort 'Em Out. I'm surprised that it's not my number one. I thought it would be, but executive produced all by Pharrell. He did an amazing job on there. And then again, Magic Alive by McKinley Dixon, produced by Sam Yamaha entirely. It's a really, really amazing like jazz instrumentals on that. I'm really blown away every time I listen to it. But yeah, the one I'm going with again is Black British Music. I was going off about how great the production is for those songs, but the entire thing is produced amazingly. It blends like so many different genres. Like there's Afrobeat stuff, UK hip hop, pop, rap, jerk music. Like it's like kind of all over the place, but it all blends together like perfectly. I don't really know how he pulled it off. The use of like vocal samples and guitars and the drum patterns that he uses, a lot of them feel like very like Afrobeat-ish, and it's just the blend of everything is just so amazing to me. I think like it was really close between this and Let God Sort 'Em Out, but I think there are some maybe not as good beats on Let God Sort 'Em Out as some of the other ones. Like there's highs and lows in that sense. So yeah, I think that Black British Music is pretty much perfectly produced, and there's a giant list of producers, which I mean it's one producer versus like an entire list. There's I don't even think I can read it all out, but Andre Denham, Baby Cashy, BK, Boy Red, Cole Yours Truly, CPPO, Dame, Jim Legacy, and the list goes on. So shout out to all those people that produced this album. It's a huge collaborative effort, and I think it really shows. So that's going to get the Triple HE from me.
Okay, interesting. I wasn't expecting that album to bring home multiple Triple HEs. But
and there might be more coming. We'll see.
But hey, I like that.
Yeah.
All right, next up is the mainstream rap song of the year. So to us, it means that it charted, was kind of like a mainstream cultural. People were listening to it. You'd hear it if you went down to Wayside. They would probably play it over the speakers there. What did you do for this song?
Well,
this category.
The thing about this year, I mean, I feel like it was kind of light in terms of mainstream rap songs. Like rap hasn't been doing great in the charts, and there haven't been a lot of like bangers, this year. At least like mainstream ones, So that's why, I mean, throughout this entire show, for me at least, a lot of these awards are going to be going to lesser known albums or more like lyrical albums. But there were some that I was considering. I was thinking about Nokia by Drake. Is it a rap song? Is it a pop song? I don't know. I mean, I think it is hip hop in essence. So I really do like that song. It's super popular, but like it's a really good song.
I agree.
I think that was like Drake's best song in a long time.
Wow.
I was thinking about Sugar on My Tongue by Tyler. That was another big one. But the one that I went with, I wasn't as big as the other two, I don't think, but I would still call it mainstream. I went with Money on Money by Young Thug and Future.
Okay.
I think this song is kind of underrated. The album as a whole, UI Scooty, not good, but that song is a banger. It has a really good hook, good rapping from both of them. I really enjoy both of their verses. It's the beat is really hard too. It has a nice beat switch in the middle, and it's Young Thug and Future. Like, they have amazing chemistry. So this one wasn't going to disappoint. So although I think it was kind of light in terms of what was really like mainstream this year, I think that's the one I'm going to go with. Money on Money.
Okay. All right. You know, you mentioned my pick. I picked Nokia by Drake.
Nice.
I just felt like, compared to some of I felt like that was just the most impactful of all the mainstream rap songs. You know, I think it is that borderline like pop rap, but I gave him benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
I just think the production was really good.
So good.
It's so catchy. It's so like the baby girl. I mean, yeah. I feel like everyone just kind of rocked with it. It was just, I liked it. I mean, it's what Drake does. He makes hits and he wins.
That's a hit. It's a very unique song too for him, especially, and just for hip hop music in general.
So yeah, that's the Triple H for me. Mainstream rap.
Totally valid.
Going that.
Yeah. Next up, we have the complete opposite, underground rap song of the year. So these are songs that didn't receive a lot of attention, didn't really chart, aren't released by major labels, stuff like that. Ones that I was considering, for once I didn't give this category to Jim Legacy, but I was considering Stick, SOS, New David Bowie. Also Ray Vaughn, The Dollar Menu. This song reminds me a lot of, I'm pretty sure he signed to TDE, so that's probably why, but it reminds me a lot of like Kendrick and Baby Keem especially, but this kind of gave me like Family Ties vibes. Very under the radar, so I'd recommend it. The whole album I'd recommend. But The Dollar Menu by Ray Vaughn has a cool beat switch in there. Boy You Should Know by JPEG Mafia, I enjoy that one a lot. 1300 Saint, I See Red. This is one of those rage songs, kind of like in that Ken Carson Destroy Lonely area, but I think this one is really well produced and the rapping and melodies on it are really, really cool. Shout out to a local artist, Killa Flow by Killa. I've been enjoying that one a lot. And then another shout out to Peace by Little Sims, Moses Sumney, Mira May. I enjoyed that one a lot. But the one that I'm going to go with is Sugar Water by McKinley Dixon, Quelle Chris, and Jimmy. Crazy song, super well produced, and just to talk about this album a little bit, and this song specifically, it kind of tells a story, a really interesting story about these guys who are trying to resurrect their cousin using magic. It's a really creative concept, so that's kind of what this song is about. They resurrect him and kind of realize that he's not the same. So, interesting song concept. Definitely check it out. And I actually got to meet Quelle Chris, the rapper, over break. I was at the Music and Gaming Festival in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
And I got to meet him, and he was a really cool guy. And I talked to him for a little bit. He's from Detroit, so shout out to him. And he does a good job on this song. So yeah, that's my favorite underground rap song of the year. Did you have any that you had in mind for this, or?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you have a lot more of the you listen to a lot more of that underground. I mean, mine I would say is like, I listen to like underground, like TikTok's underground, if that makes sense, like Nine Vicious and Osama Son and stuff like that. But I ended up going with, there's a guy named Mexico Dro. He was actually a really big producer. He did a lot of stuff with like Cardi early. He did some Drake.
Okay.
I can't remember what song it is, but he gets a shout out from Drake on one of the songs on Dark Lane demo tapes.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, he's a really big producer, but he just kind of started getting into making his own music, I believe. And he dropped a song called Height, and I really like it. It's really just like chill. And he literally in the song he starts off saying, record label called my phone, said they trying to take me far, told my lawyer I ain't trying to be no star.
Nice.
It's literally just him like, yeah, literally the next part, I like to chill, sometimes I hit the bar, I feel peace when I'm working on my car. Like he's just like talking about his daily life, how he doesn't really enjoy wanting to be a star. He just, a lot of it's just like, after 10 o'clock, I ain't going out tonight. That's another one of the. He's just like
Relatable.
It's like a nonchalant song. It makes you just want to work hard, man.
I like that.
And I don't know. His delivery is really cool. He has a really cool voice. It's just like so nonchalant. Like he's not trying much, but like he's chill. And I really liked that song. It was one of my top played songs of like the early fall, late summer months, because I was just like, yeah, man, I'm getting to it. I'm getting to the grind. It's 10 o'clock. I'm not going out tonight, you know? So yeah, you know, underground, independent, Mexico Joe Height was my pick
cool.
for the year.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
It sounds like a cool song. So yeah, that's underground rap song of the year. Next up, mainstream rap album of the year. Again, things that were in the mainstream that charted. I think this one was maybe a little bit looser than the mainstream rap song, just because albums as a whole don't get as mainstream as single songs anymore. So like there's albums like God Does Like Ugly by Jid that charted. I would consider that a mainstream rap album because he's a pretty well-known artist, especially compared to like some of the people we're listing before. Like that, just if you ask 100 people, I doubt anyone would know them. But like JID, you ask hip hop fans, they probably know who he is at least. So
Yeah.
So that was one that I was thinking about. Also, Music by Playboi Carti. I'm just so mixed on this album because there's so much great stuff and also so much stuff that I'm just meh on. But the one that I went with was Let God Sort 'Em Out. I would consider that mainstream. It's very talked about, and especially because there's no like Astroworld that came out this year, you know, like mainstream. So I think that's like the next best thing. So I went with Let God Sort 'Em Out. I've talked about it a lot. It's amazing production, amazing writing. What else is there to say?
Yep. I went Music. It was my favorite album of the year. I love Carti. I mean, obviously, yeah, there were some points where it kind of dulled out, but I mean, I'm a Carti glazer. He can do no wrong in my eyes. So I still was a fan of those songs, and I just felt like it deserved an award. I couldn't give it album of the year total, and so mainstream rap album, I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna give it to Music here. I love the album, and I felt like it was very mainstream. Everyone was kind of talking about it when it dropped. I feel like that was also my thing. Like, Let God Sort 'Em Out and stuff. Like, I feel like if I went up to my friend group or something right now that isn't as big on hip hop, and I was like, hey, did you guys listen to this Clips album, Let God Sort 'Em Out? They would probably be like, what? Like,
that's true.
But if I went up and said, yo, Playboi Carti dropped an album, they'd be like, oh, no way. Like, they would know. So that's my...
Yeah. The only reason I consider it is partially because it went number one on the charts. It sold over 100,000, which I would consider pretty mainstream.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, he's definitely not... Clips isn't like a household name. Like, Carti is objectively like a way bigger artist, but yeah.
All right, next. I couldn't come up with a nomination for this category, so I'm kind of handing this one off to you. This might be the most important Triple H-y. You know, it's just you. Underground / independent rap album of the year. What did you do for this?
Yeah, so it's again just thinking about albums that are less appreciated, not released by a major label, didn't really chart highly. So I have a few shout outs for this one. From the private collection of Saba and No ID by, you guessed it, Saba and No ID. Really well produced. I mean, it's No ID. But Saba's also a pretty underrated rapper.
Yeah,
he's
I agree.
Good. Lotus by Little Sims. She's a really great rapper, and it's another really well produced project. The Good, the Bad, the Dollar Menu by Ray Vaughn. Infinite by Mobb Deep. I mean, Mobb Deep are they mainstream in the entire scope of the world? Not really. Are they kind of mainstream in just the hip hop sphere? I mean, if you're a hip hop head, you probably know who Mobb Deep is, but I would consider it underground because it's kind of independently released and they haven't released anything in a long time. So it kind of flew under the radar a little bit. But believe it or not, the one I went with was Black British Music by Jim Legacy.
What?
I know. Who could have guessed that by now? Yeah. I don't even know if I should say anything else about it, but it's amazing. It's an amazing album. I love it. It's concise. Every song hits. The writing is amazing. I love it.
Awesome.
But yeah, that's my underground independent rap album of the year. I have a feeling, I'm pretty sure he's Grammy nominated because he has either like production or writing on something. I can't remember. I can't remember what it is, but I know I've seen people on Twitter saying Jim Legacy is Grammy nominated, and the fact that he's not even like the main artist on the song, it's not his album or whatever, but the fact that people are pointing that out, that Jim Legacy himself is Grammy nominated, I think he's gonna go places. I think he's gonna like become a much bigger artist in the coming years. So we'll see if he stays underground for long.
He was nominated as he was featured on the Fred Again album 10 Days.
Okay.
Fred Again's kind of like an EDM house type of artist. So, I think that's what.
So, yeah, he's Grammy nominated now. So we'll see if he stays underground. But, yeah, that was my underground album of the year. What's next? We got, that's a big one. Song of the year.
Boom, boom. A big one.
Cue the music. Yeah. So this is the best song overall. We had kind of mainstream, we had underground, but I mean, there's middle ground there. There's things that are kind of mainstream, kind of not, you know? So yeah, what were you thinking about for this one?
I'm not gonna lie. I had one song I kind of looked it up to see what other like news sources and stuff were saying were the songs of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And I was always surprised to see this one like 1 or 2. Like it was always really high up. And it was my most played song of the year on Spotify. It was my probably favorite song of the year. Like Wheezy by Playboi Carti. Kind of head and toes for my personal taste above everything else. It had that same vibe as the Futuristic Summer. It had the old 2000 schooly sample on it, and it was just so fun to listen to. It was a great summer song.
Mm-hmm.
And Carti went crazy on it. I think it was his best performance on the album, in my personal opinion. I loved the song, love Carti, and that's why it gets the HHHy from me.
Sweet. Yeah, Song of the Year to Like Wheezy from Nate. I think that's a great pick. From Carti, I was considering that. Also, Different Day, FOMDJ. I've mentioned them before.
Mm-hmm.
From Jim Legacy, Stick, SOS. From Chance the Rapper and Joey Badass, The Highs and the Lows.
Wow.
Also, is this not a new song? I was listening to this in high school, and I'm a junior in college, but it released as a part of the album this year, so I want to shout it out at least.
Yeah, fair enough.
I really enjoy that song. The Bell by Yeet.
Ooh.
If we're talking about bangers,
that's another banger right
this
there.
was like one of the biggest bangers of the year. I was surprised that this song didn't do as well as I thought. I looked it up. It didn't seem like it charted or anything like that. As far as my research showed, I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I thought this was more mainstream than it was. But yeah, The Bell, such a banger, super underrated. Sugar Water, again, shout out to that by McKinley Dixon. Ensalada by Freddie Gibbs, Anderson .Paak, and The Alchemist.
Yeah, that was a great one.
I've seen that on a lot of people's lists. Community by JID and Clips. Skate by JID, Sierra, and Earth Gang. So, in the end of the day, it was between 2 songs for me. It was between So Be It and The Birds Don't Sing. I've been saying a lot that So Be It is my song of the year just because, it's not a banger in the traditional sense, but it goes so hard, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a trap banger, but it's just so different. It's so unique. And Pusha T is one of the only people out there that's bringing that to hip hop, like a hard song that isn't trap. You don't see a lot of that. But surprisingly, Travis Scott, on Utopia, he's bringing songs like that. So, I mean, guys, you got to make up and make a song together at this point. But yeah, so I love So Be It for that. The beat is just so cool. But I'm going to have to go with The Birds Don't Sing for my song of the year.
Yeah.
I think if I had to pick between 2 of them, I would pick this one just for how impactful it is for me with the lyrics. you really don't get hip hop songs like this very often that are introspective and reflective and so personal, in a way that doesn't come off as corny or preachy or anything like that. Like it really feels like intimate and like you're getting to know these people.
Yeah.
And it's super hard to pull that off in a song, especially in a rap song. So like, huge shout out to them. Cool John Legend feature on it. Great production by Pharrell. That's my song of the year. I think it should win song of the year at the Grammys. Everything, it's incredible. Yeah,
that was another one that it was kind of for me between those two.
Yeah,
because I feel like I hadn't really seen a rap song like that, I don't know, in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so emotional.
It reminds me of like The College Dropout a little bit, or like Hey Mama by Kanye.
Yeah,
like
I was singing the same thing.
Yeah,
it's just so personal. You really feel invited, and you can see their emotions from, I feel like, people that don't really share their emotions. They're a lot more.
It's kind of a rare song from them,
Yeah, so I definitely, that was probably my number 2.
Yeah, totally valid. Yeah, on to the next category, worst song of the year. What'd you have? What were you thinking about?
So we already mentioned like Peanuts to Elephants, Mr. Recoup. I mean, there were some trash songs this year. I could have done softball, going like a Tom McDonald song or something like that. But
who listens to that anyway?
Yeah,
is that even really a song? It's just noise.
Exactly. I kind of just wanted to go something like Dax. I could have thrown the Joker by Dax or something trash like that. But I kind of wanted to go with one that was kind of unnecessarily bad.
Yeah.
And for this, I chose the Timeless remix featuring Doechii.
Oh my gosh.
It was just the most probably unnecessary song. It was a cash grab by the label. The song was really good, and just adding a Doechii verse to it who didn't fit at all on the song. And I think Doechii's very talented. A lot of people hate her, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm the biggest fan.
Yeah.
But I think she's I can see her talent. I mean, obviously.
Well, it's just popular to hate on her because, I mean, Anxiety's kind of an annoying song, and then she got on people's radar, and so it's just like people like to hate on women and hate on female rappers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Female rappers just kind of get the blunt. I mean, she's featured on an ASAP song in this album. People were hating on it before it even dropped. I listened to it. I actually really liked her performance on it.
I'm looking forward to listening to that.
Yeah, it was impressive. It was a really interesting song. And I mean, like her feature on Balloon with Tyler, I loved.
So good.
But it was just so unnecessary to put her on this song.
It doesn't make any sense.
It didn't sound good at all.
It felt like they were setting her up.
Yeah.
Setting her up for more hate.
Yeah, and it was just it was a great song even already. I mean, it was a great performance by both artists, and to just be like, hey, Doechii, we're just going to throw you at the start. We're going to do the weekend chorus.
It doesn't
and then,
fit her style at all.
No, nothing related. So I can't really give it to Doechii. I don't know who their record production
that's
label
a label
is.
move.
I'm giving that Triple H to them because the song was unnecessary and it was terrible because of their weird choice to throw her feature on there.
Yeah.
So that's my award.
Ones that I was thinking about. I really didn't like Which One by Drake. I'm sorry. I didn't like.
Oh yeah,
I didn't
that
like
was terrible.
Doghouse either. I thought that was pretty.
Doghouse grew on me.
I don't like that one. By Young Thug, Whoop-De-Doo. My gosh, it's just another. This is what I'm talking about. Where like I feel like tricks are being played on us, like we're being memed on. Artists just making songs that feel like they're intended to become a TikTok sound and like purposely to get like hated on. Like it's just a meme, but it's on a serious album, so I don't get it. Like Whoop-De-Doo, like it's based off of a meme entirely. Super low effort. Also Ninja by Young Thug. I like the middle portion of this song, and then he completely ruins it. Shine by Travis Scott and Glorilla. I really don't like that song. Ha by 21 Savage, where the chorus is him going ha 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 ha.
Yeah, that song was whole
absolutely
album.
Terrible. And then Peanuts to an Elephant, another terrible song. But honestly, my least favorite was Mr. Recoup.
Okay.
And I think that the beat is better than Peanuts to an Elephant, but Drake on that song is actually god awful.
Yeah.
Like it was inexcusable. the way that he's rapping like a little nursery rhyme, like explaining his bars, like it's terrible. I hate it. It's like nails on a chalkboard to me.
I don't, especially I feel like he has to be ultra careful right now after all that Kendrick stuff. He needs to put out his best stuff, and he went
how do
on
you
there.
put out Nokia and this in the same year? I don't understand. There's no quality control.
It was like the most basic flow. Like, I genuinely think...
That's a really big chain.
Yeah.
My neck is in pain.
I think I could have genuinely went on there. I mean, that beat was terrible. So the song shouldn't have existed in the first place because I don't think you give Kendrick that beat and he can do much with it.
No.
But... yeah, I don't know.
It's a non-starter, but
I agree.
Somehow he made it even worse. You know, I don't get it.
If I didn't do that for worst beat, I would have given it to.
If we had a worst verse category, that would
worst
win
song.
that.
Yeah, it was really bad, but both good picks, Triple H's.
So yeah, finally for our final award, the biggest one, Album of the Year.
I already kind of aired it out on the mainstream one. My Album of the Year was "Let God Sort 'Em Out" by Clips. I mean, two fantastic artists, fantastic features. Pharrell's my favorite producer ever. It was excellent, 10 out of 10, front to back. We did a review on it already. But yeah, excellent album. And, you know, I can't say, like, I enjoyed music more just because I love Cardi so much, but objectively, best album.
Totally valid, yeah. I'm going to be honest, I went with the same thing, Let God Sort 'Em Out. It was definitely close between that and Black British Music, but I think, like, it's hard. I could probably change given on a day-to-day. There's things that are good about it that are different from each one, but I think Let God Sort 'Em Out, if we're talking about hip-hop, that is, like, the best hip-hop that I've heard this year. It felt like a revitalization of the genre, whereas Black British Music is more experimental, so you can appreciate it for that. But I think if we're talking about like hip hop at its core, they did it the best this year with this album. I think it's gonna go down as a classic. It's amazing. Other ones I was thinking about a little bit, God Does Like Ugly and Magic Alive, but it was really between those two for me. But no surprises here, really.
Yeah. We stuck to it.
Yeah.
We stuck to it. Other than the whole Jim legacy.
Yeah. You kind of had a little streak there. You got a few Triple H's today.
I can't say I was expecting that. So
I definitely recommend it. I feel like it's a very accessible album too. It's a lot of it is it's singing, melodic rap, lots of vocal samples. It's a great album. I think it could appeal to really anyone. Okay.
I might have to check it out then. That concludes the first ever Triple H's 2025 release. Stay tuned next year for the 2026 Triple H's.
Yep.
We have an early contender for Album of the Year. Don't Be Dumb by A$AP Rocky.
Yeah, came out today.
Yep.
I actually haven't gotten a chance to listen to it yet, but next week we'll be reviewing it.
Yes, we will.
So look forward to that. We're back every week, Fridays at 6, Triple H. But yeah, thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm Gabe Schall.
I'm Nate Havrilla.
And we'll see you next week. And hey, don't forget to check out Triple H on YouTube. Search up WMHW-FM radio or just Triple H. You can let us know what your top picks of the year were for any of these categories or for anything else. And yeah, we'll see you next week.